Hey guys, it's Lua. Welcome to my February romance reading vlog. So, I don't know if you've seen my February TBR video, but I'll have it linked down below regardless. This February, essentially, I'm challenging myself to read some romance books, especially some of the bigger ones that I see here on BookTube, because I am behind the times and I need to catch up. And also because I don't read romance really. Typically I love a good like gothic, horror, creepy type novel or a depressed bitch Sylvia Plath type energy. That's me. I really want to try out some new things. I want to see what's the hype, you know? I want to see if it's for me. So, without further ado, let's go over the books we plan to be reading in this vlog. Fingers crossed that we get to all of them this month. First things first, I'm currently in the middle of reading Felix Ever After. So far, I'm thinking it's okay. I'm not used to the writing in this whatsoever. Like books that have modern day lingo and mentions of Instagram and current popular artists. I don't know, like just I guess the contemporary style writing, like I'm not used to that whatsoever. Like it comes off almost cringy when I read writing like that. No hate on you whatsoever though, if you like books like that. Everyone could like whatever the hell they want to like. I totally respect it. It's just I'm not used to this at all. Regardless though, I think this is such an important book. The representation in this is amazing. Felix is so lovable and I just feel like kids especially need to have books like this to read growing up. They need to see people they could look in and identify with if they don't have that in other books. So just for that, I love this book. But yeah, I'm about halfway through and that's just what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's okay. I'm in there with the story. Like I'm in there. I'm 100% gonna finish this, but I still have faith that I'm gonna end up liking it quite a lot. Anyway, we are also reading in this vlog Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? My first Sally Rooney book. I'm very excited. Also plan to be reading This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith. I've heard great things about this. Excited. We also have a reread, which is The Girl with the Pearl Earring, which is a book from my own shelves. The other three were library books. Final book I'm hoping to get done this month is Lie With Me by Felipe Besson. I'll go over what they're about as I'm reading them, like when I go to pick up a new book. I literally just filmed that TBR video, so the idea of going through that again kind of makes me want to die a little bit. I did not realize how TBR videos would feel to film. They're not that fun. But like in the future, I hope to be doing like a TBR game and make it funner. But I don't know. This month I'm gonna be thinking really creatively and hard about a good TBR game. We're gonna see. But yeah, I feel like that's pretty much all I have to update you on right now. I'm gonna continue to keep you posted on how I'm feeling about Felix Ever After. Definitely plan to read some more today, so hopefully later tonight I can get you guys updated on what I'm thinking of that. Otherwise, let's get into it. Can you tell how fucking tired I am right now? Alright, hey guys, I just wanted to update you guys real quick before I went to bed. It is like close to 1 in the morning. I've been drawing my new flash designs and I'm tired, but I finished Felix Ever After. I've been listening to it on audiobook as I've been drawing all night. I really did end up liking the ending. It's cute. It really made me want that. And you know, I think this is a big reason why I don't really pick up romance books that much, because I start getting unrealistic expectations. Does anyone else feel that? Like I start looking at my partner and being like, why didn't you do that? Oh, toxic. Honestly, for me, the book is like somewhere between 3 to 3.5 out of 5 stars. Mainly just because of how it's written, but I still find it to be such an important read. And I did like it, so I might even bump that up to a 4. Like, it wasn't the perfect book for me, if I'm being honest, just because of how it's written. For example, like, some things just came off as like things I would read on Twitter. And I don't know why, but that bothers me. I don't know. Like, it's not a bad book by any means. Overall, I did enjoy it regardless. I guess that's all for tonight. I'm probably gonna be home from work tomorrow with a snow day, but I'm actually finishing up Voices in the Snow, which is not a part of this TBR whatsoever. I only have like a bit left, but I was reading that at the end of January and I didn't finish it up by then. So I'm going to finish up Voices in the Snow, and then I'm thinking I'm going to pick up the Sally Rooney book. I'll get you guys posted on that whenever that happens. Probably sometime this weekend. It's Thursday for reference, but until then, see ya. Hey guys, so I have a little bit of an update for you. I finished Voices in the Snow. 5 out of 5 stars. I adored this book. In case I didn't tell you before, I don't really remember. It's like a apocalyptic winter type situation in a gothic mansion that got some spooky stuff going on. Essentially, our main character Claire, she's on her way to safety. Something happens and she wakes up in a gothic mansion with a strange man. I don't want to give any spoilers, but there's a little romance going on, and here's why I love this book so much. There were so many like spooky moments that I had to just put the book down and look away at something else and get distracted before going back into there. I love that. And I also love the romance wasn't the whole plot, and it's very like slow builds. You know it's gonna happen. Another thing I really appreciated in this book, I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced this, but like certain books, I felt like the feminism in it felt forced. I've read books like that where it's like the lead character just feels like she constantly has to do everything on her own and ends up, I don't know, like doing reckless shit almost in the process. I like a strong female lead, and like I feel like you get that in here because there's many moments where she will step up and be just as useful as the man, which I love. And it doesn't need to be announced that she's just as useful or anything like that. It's shown, and that's what's important. That's just my opinion. I really loved this book. It's actually a 4-book series. It does end on a bit of a cliffhanger. I'm definitely getting the second book and reading on. I don't know, I really loved it. I really recommend it if you're into this sort of thing, if you're down with a little spook. And that means we get to start Beautiful World, Where Are You? By Sally Rooney. Okay, sorry, you were on top of that book. So now I have it. I'm very excited for this one just because I hear so much about Sally Rooney, and like people either love or hate their writing. No, I'm excited to give it a try. I'm gonna read the synopsis. Alice, a novelist, meets Felix, who works in a warehouse, and asks him if he'd like to travel to Rome with her. In Dublin, her best friend Aline is getting over a breakup and slips back into flirting with Simon, a man she's known since childhood. Alex, Felix, Aline, and Simon are all still young, but life is catching up with them. They desire each other, they delude each other, they get together, they break apart, they have sex, they worry about sex, they worry about their friendships and the world they live in. Are they standing in the last lighted room before the darkness, bearing witness to something? Will they find a way to believe in a beautiful world? I saw this in the library and I couldn't help myself. I don't know if I really expect it to be a happy read. Maybe it's more of like a thoughtful, emotional type read. I don't know. I'll have to let you guys know. Because I don't. Anyway, I guess that's it for now. I'm about to hang out and read. That's the tea. I'll talk to you when I have more to say. Is it too much to ask for? Yeah. Can I
Is it too much to ask for? Can I put back? Is it too much to ask for? Can I put back? Is it too much to ask for? Can I put back? Is it too much to ask for?
Just before work, I wanted to update you on what I've been reading, because for you it's been a few seconds, but for me it's been several days. It is currently, I think, February 17th? February 18th. It's February 18th, and I think last we spoke it was like nearing the end of the first week of February, some shit like that. I don't know. Last we spoke, I was just about to pick up Sally Rooney's Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I just wanted to update you like what I was thinking on it so far. And so far I'm actually really loving this book. I was worried because I have heard so much controversy, I guess, over Sally Rooney's writing style. I actually really love it. I think it definitely, unlike anything I've personally ever read, like, she does not use quotations when the characters are talking. And like, personally, I haven't had any moments where that has confused me, but I guess I could see how it could be confusing for some. I would describe their writing style as like, they're writing it like they're a fly on the wall, looking down on what's going on and telling you about it. I really, so far, am enjoying it. So I was right in the sense that, well, yeah, it is a pretty non-contemporary romance, I think, but it does follow two separate romances, actually. I love one and I hate one. I don't think that I'm supposed to like the one of them. Like, I think it's written so you're just like, that's a relationship that's never gonna work out. Like, although like there's romance going on, it's not really a happy book. This book, I feel, is for sad women. Women who know what pain is. That's my opinion, of course. Like, the two main characters, you get bits and pieces of each of the relationships that they're in currently, and emails back and forth between the two. And it does get very philosophical and very political at times as well. I don't know like 100% if this is gonna be a 5-star read for me. It's definitely a high 4. Regardless, I'm loving it. So I was also thinking like I was at one point like considering boosting my rating up from a 3 for this book. I guess because I was looking on Goodreads and everybody else was really raving about it. And it's not that like I didn't like it for what it was. The writing for me, as we talked about, just like not what I'm used to reading. I was scared I was gonna experience that with Beautiful World, Where Are You as well, but like, I just wanted to explain this for people who maybe can relate to that sentiment where they don't typically like contemporary books. The difference between the two of these, essentially. Like, I think it's totally possible that you could really love both of these, because I did get something out of both of these. But I would say in Felix Ever After, it's more so like, bro, come to the party, posted my foodstagram post. Like, maybe it's just out of my age range. I don't know. I'm only 23 for reference. This book, it does mention Instagram and Tinder, but it's more like artistic, and maybe it really is just written for an older audience. But I just kind of wanted to touch on that and explain that for people who maybe are in the same boat with that sentiment, or were thinking about reading either of these. I started Girl with the Pearl Earring. I'm pretty much halfway through this now, and I don't think I described to you guys what this one is actually about. It's a historical fiction novel that's also a romance. It follows our main character, Greet, who is the girl in the painting, and Johannes Vermeer, who painted this painting, and there's kind of like a little bit of a romance going on between them. I'm going to be 100% honest, this book is more character driven than plot driven. There's not much plot, it's just vibes. But I really am still liking this book a whole lot. This was a reread from high school, and I just wanted to see what I thought about it at this age, and I am still really liking it. It references arts and artistic theory a lot, and I'm an artist, so maybe I just really appreciate that in a book. But also on top of that, I would just say it's a really well-written book in my opinion. Yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update before work. I have to head out now. I'll be in touch next time I have something to say. Okay guys, so you know I have to update you on Beautiful World, Where Are You? And I'm just gonna be honest, this book made me cry. I just loved it. I did end up giving it 5 stars, and like I feel like I was so reluctant to give it 5 stars. I didn't want to be a whore for Sally Rooney, but I guess I'm just one of those girls. Thing is with Sally Rooney, girls who get it, and the girls who don't. But I got it. I understood. This is the type of book that just makes you reflect on everything. It makes you reflect on life. It makes you reflect on your relationships. It kind of shows you that the times that are bad, like it puts those into perspective. It just feels like such an important book. Do I feel like it's super plot heavy? No. It's more so you're just like hanging out with these characters, you're vibing, you're seeing their relationship unfold. And I will say one of the relationships I hated. I don't think they should be together. I think the one man is questionable. It wasn't as much about that as what I feel you could get from this book. This is actually a library book. I can 100% see myself buying this book and reading it over different points in my life. I feel like at different points in your life you can get different things from this book. I really did love it. I want to read more from Sally Rooney. That's all I could really say about that. However, we did start the last book that I got from the library. It's called This Close to Okay by Lisa Cross Smith. So essentially this one is about our girl Tally here, who is a recently divorced therapist, and on her way home from work she sees our guy Emmett here on the side of a bridge contemplating suicide. She convinces him to come back to her house and comforts him throughout this hard time. And in a sense they begin to comfort each other because she's going through her own traumatic event. And I am really liking it so far. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about it. Do I think this is going to be a 5-star read for me? No. I don't think it's going to be a 5-star read, but I am really enjoying it. I do love the mental health representation, and I feel like it's done well. And that's coming from somebody who struggles with mental health issues. I'm a little bit over halfway through. Another thing I'm really liking about this book is how you get both of their perspectives. I originally thought it was just following hers, but it flops back and forth between the two of them. One thing I can't tell if I love or hate yet. One of these characters do something that is very morally gray. I wouldn't even say morally gray. I would say they are definitely overstepping their boundaries. It's hard for me to rationalize with because that's how much I feel like they overstep. In another sense, I feel like it is making the book more interesting. The fact that they did this, it's adding another layer to it in a sense. I don't know if I love that aspect as of yet. I'm gonna see how it plays out because I hope that the reaction to it is appropriate and the explanation is appropriate because I'm finding it hard to rationalize with myself. And if you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. But that's all for now, and I'll keep you posted. Hey guys, I am back and I'm ready to spill the tea because I finished my book. I did. I finished This Close to Okay and I didn't like it. Here's the thing, I didn't hate it. In fact, the first half of this book, as we talked about, I liked. It gave me cozy vibes. I feel like the depictions of mental health were fair. Maybe not perfect, but they were fair. An issue I had was, one, neither of these characters knew boundaries. It just bothered me. It seemed like there were so many unnecessary issues because of either miscommunication or discommunication, blatant lies, and boundary crossing. Like the reveal, for me, I just kind of saw it coming the entire time. I didn't like the way that it ended. I'm not gonna spoil it, but like, I didn't hate it. I gave this a 2.5, and that seems fair. Like, I'm just kind of on the fence with my feelings about it. There was a good portion of the book, like I was enjoying it, I was having a nice time, and then it just kind of flopped toward the end. Like, I got a little bored, I didn't care, and then for the ending to turn out to be what it was, like, I just didn't love this. Like, I think it definitely had some lovable moments, and I could see how somebody would really like this book, but for me, it wasn't it. So we are still working our way through The Girl with the Pearl Earring. I'm probably around like 70% through. Still just rocking out with it. I'm enjoying it. It's putting me to sleep every night, but not necessarily in a bad way. Still, I just enjoy the vibes of this book. The main character to me is pretty likable, and I just love the discourse of art in it. So since we finished this close to okay, that means we are starting our last physical book that needs to be read this month. For reference, it is February 24th, and the last book is Lie With Me by Felipe Besson. I'll read the synopsis for you guys. It tells the story of an affair between two teenage boys in 1984 France. Just outside a hotel in Bordeaux, Felipe chances upon a young man who appears striking resemblance to his first love. What follows is a look back at the relationship he's never forgotten, a hidden affair with a boy named Thomas during their last year of high school. Without acknowledging they know each other in the halls, they steal time to meet in secret, carrying on a passionate, world-altering affair. Besson's powerfully moving coming-of-age stories captures the eroticism and tenderness of first love and the heartbreaking passage of time. So it doesn't seem happy, but out of all these books, I've really enjoyed the least happy ones the most. So take that as you will. I actually noticed earlier today that Andre Ackerman, the author of Call Me By Your Name, has a little blurb on here. He says it's a shining and heart-gripping tale. So I personally have never read Call Me By Your Name, but I've heard good things about it, so that makes me feel a little bit better about this random book that I found at a bargain outlet. It's really short. It's literally like 150 pages, it appears to be. Yeah, it's 148 pages. I'm definitely finishing this before the end of February, which means I'm actually going to complete this hefty TBR. I'm proud of myself. I'm very proud of myself. I've really been hustling to get this shit done, especially because these books gotta go back to the library soon. Yeah, but that's pretty much, I think, everything for now. I'm gonna keep you posted on Lie With Me, and yeah, that's everything for now. Okay guys, we've done it. We finished February TBR, and we finished it on time. So I finished the audiobook for The Girl with the Pearl Earring a couple days ago, actually. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I feel like the past few clips I've done a bit of an injustice in terms of explaining this book. It feels wrong to call this book a romance, but to be fair, it's taking place in the 1600s, so straight up full-blown sex scenes or really angsty kind of build-up would be unrealistic to occur at that time. Calling this book a romance feels wrong. Almost. Her and the love interest, they don't kiss, they don't hold hands, they hardly even touch. There's hardly any talk of romance or a future, but in a sense you could just feel it. It's described more as an intimacy between the two. Regardless, I really enjoy this book. To better describe it, great, as we talked about, the girl in the painting, she works as a maid in Johannes Vermeer's house. She ends up becoming the one to help clean his studio. From there, she ends up being the one in his paintings, and he has a soft spot for her. I don't know much else to say about this. All I know is it's just a very pleasant read. I think if you appreciate art, you will like this book, but don't go in expecting a heavy romance type plot. Just be prepared to vibe out. That's my best advice. So then last night, I finished Lie With Me by Felipe Besson. This one, I don't even know what to say. I really expected to kind of love this book, but I didn't. I thought it was beautifully written. You could tell Felipe Besson is a talented writer. I guess I just felt absolutely no connection to the characters. Like, sad things were happening, but I didn't care. And I feel like that's a big failure when a book can't make me care. And also, we know this is a gay romance. The only scenes you see between the two of them are sexual in nature. Like, you don't really see any kind of emotional bond forming. Like, the book is telling you there's an emotional bond forming, but you don't feel that or see that. The way it was written, I appreciated. It had a lot of moments that were quotable or potentially relatable, and for that I did give it 3 stars. I think it could have been a lot better of a story had I had more of a connection to these characters and cared a bit more. It's unfortunate we had to end the month on a low note, but that's okay because I'm very excited for what we got going on in March. I have my March TBR jar game coming out in just a few days, so be on the lookout for that if you're interested. But otherwise, we completed the assignment. So thank you guys so much for watching. Spend a little time to hang out with me. I appreciate it. I'll catch you next time.